Hello, in today's video I'll show you the first 10 things to do after unboxing your Nikon Z30. Okay, so let's begin by first putting the battery and the SD card in. So at the very bottom of your camera, open this door by pushing this lock like so and flipping it up. Now you can see it's open, and let's put the battery first. So you just push it in like so. If you want to remove it in the future, just push this yellow lock and it pops out automatically. So I'll push it in, and then I can insert the SD card according to the symbol right here. Well, you can't really see it. There's the symbol. And it indicates that the pins should be facing the lens. Now, if you don't have the correct lens attached, I'll show you how to detach it and attach it. To detach it, press and hold on this button, and while holding on this part, this like closest to body ring, rotate it clockwise. Now it's removed. And to put it on, find this white dot right here and find this white dot right here. Now, you don't need to press the button, just align these two dots and rotate counterclockwise until you hear the click. Then remove the cover, and here are two rings. This one is for focus or anything else that you set it to, and this one is for zoom. So just rotate it counterclockwise to any zoom that you like, depending on what lens you have. And now we can turn it on. So let's flip the screen out if it's not yet flipped out. Turn the device on. And mine is already working, but if you're asks for some things like language and time, set it up. I'll set it up through the menu. So let's go to the setup menu. You can see there's the menu. Go to setup right here, go to the right and go to language. Select the correct language. So I have English and it's okay. Then time, zone and date. I don't really feel like setting the time zone because it's not gonna do anything, to be honest, I think, but let's do the date and time. And yeah, you can change the date and time and everything. And once you set it with the seconds, let's see if I can see seconds on my computer. No, I don't see seconds on my computer. Okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, once you set the seconds correctly, you can set them like to let's say it's 20. It's military time. 2027. Let's say currently it's 20:27:02. So I can set it to like 10 and wait until it becomes 10 on the clock, and then click on OK as soon as it becomes, and then it starts counting from then. So that is useful, I think. You can change the date format, and daylight saving time can be on or off. And now these are the most basic settings. Now let's also adjust a few things. So go to custom settings menu, go to shooting display. No, sorry. Go to timers here, and power off delay can be set in standby timer to a certain time, and let's say 10 seconds. Now if I exit menu, you'll notice that after some time the display will shut down automatically. Yeah, just like that. I can click on this to turn it on, but I can also adjust the timer to something else, like let's say 5 minutes, and then it's the time after which the display will turn off. The next thing that I recommend doing is custom settings menu, shooting display, and setting the Grid. I recommend enabling grid to 3x3 or 4x4, depending on your preference. Then you'll see the grid. That is super useful, I think, for actually making the photos look good or videos look good. Here's how you change between photo and video mode. And now let's talk a little about the modes. So there is full auto mode. It's basically all auto. You just take a photo or take a video, depending on the mode you're in. Then there's programmed auto, so that basically has all the same things as auto, but it lets you adjust a few things more. So yeah, that is basically it. Then there's shutter speed priority. Programmed auto in photo is actually lets you adjust the ISO manually. So when you press and hold on ISO button, you can now rotate this wheel to change the ISO. But when you release it, it goes back to auto. So that is important to know. Because you can see at some point it will start adjusting again. So if you want to disable auto ISO, you need to find this dial wheel, rotate it once, just one click, and then auto disappears from here. You can release ISO or keep pressing it and then adjust it with the dial. You need to keep pressing ISO to be able to adjust with the dial, and then release, and ISO is set to that level now. So that is the thing. Shutter speed priority also lets you do the same with ISO. You can set auto or not auto. But while you're not pressing on the ISO and adjusting this dial, you are basically changing the shutter speed here. And if you set to aperture priority, if you're not pressing on ISO button and adjusting this slider, you're changing the aperture. Then there's manual, which lets you adjust both the shutter speed, the aperture, and the ISO. So these are the modes. Now, the thing that I'd recommend doing after inserting your SD card is to format it so you have the best, the best possible experience with saving to your card. So I'll click on the menu, then go to setup menu on the left side and find a format memory card. Then yes, but remember, if you have anything on your memory card and you format it, it'll delete it. So if you have anything important, back it up and then format the card. Now the next thing is to adjust a few settings of photo and video. So let's click on the menu. Let's go to photo first. And here you can change the image quality. And here you can change in what formats the photos will be saved in. Fine is better than normal. Basic is worse than normal. A raw is not viewable. So if you take a raw photo, it's not like you can immediately view it. It's for editing, and then you can export it. So if you're going to edit it anyway with a program, you can just take it in RAW. But I'd recommend taking it in either just JPEG or RAW plus JPEG. So JPEG is just for viewing the photo quickly, and RAW is for editing in case you want to edit it at all. So yeah, I like the RAW plus JPEG normal, so I can edit the RAW later in Lightroom on my computer. You can change the image size to large, medium, or small. I do like the large because it has the best quality, but if you want medium or small, you can also do that. Now let's go to, by the way, RAW recording can be set to two different modes. The better one is the better one. Then video recording, you can change the frame size and frame rate. These are quite important because you can use 4K, but only up to 30 FPS, or 1080p up to 120 FPS, or you can go down and record in slow motion. But those modes, I wouldn't recommend them myself because I think it's better to record a normal video and then slow it down later. You know, at like 120p, it can be slowed down 5 times. You can do that instead of recording it in slow motion, because maybe you don't want to slow it down. Maybe you don't want to slow down the whole clip, just a part of it. So that's why I would recommend recording it in like just higher frame rate instead of recording it in slow motion like already. Then video quality, of course, can be set to high quality or normal. That's basically the bit rate. You can change the file type. It's also pretty important. You can set it to MOV, which is, I think, a superior format. It's just has better quality, but it may not be playable without additional programs. So for better compatibility, you maybe want the MP4, but I would set MOV and just download VLC on my computer. So yeah, if your computer doesn't play MOV, then just download a VLC, unless you actually need the file to fit a certain program that doesn't support MOV, then that's what I would do. And these are basically the most basic things that I would do at the very beginning of using the device. By the way, there's many more videos on the channel on how to do stuff here. So in case you need anything more, feel free to check them out. And I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.